Yeah, I mean, when you look at the Lilgun's lineup, the two supports are pretty much geared up so that the Arc Warden thrives. That's what you want to
10
do.
seconds
Both
to pick.
Enchantress and the Tusk are very good at creating space. If you have this
5
good vision
seconds
that Army
remaining.
Geniuses do have, it makes it very, very hard for Lilgun to keep the Arc Warden alive, and you're putting all of your fruits in that basket. Obviously, you have
Dire's
two more
turn to
cores to
make
pick,
all
but
rush.
the
Witch
supports in
Doctor.
general, that's how they're geared up. And they go for a Witch Doctor. This is cool because Lilgun are missing a fat frontliner, and the Witch Doctor will deal with him as well. So this is just looking cool for Army Genius. I don't know how Lilgun approach this draft now.
Something out of the box like
Only
Dark
10
Warden pick. I
seconds.
guess you come up with a wild offlaner here if this Tusk
5
doesn't end up
seconds
being that. And
remaining.
also, does Trill want to even play the Tusk in the mid lane? You've got the Arc Warden, which might just be might be mid, might be a carry. And Lilgun, they need some kind of AoE
Radiant's
stun.
banned.
Magnus or something like that comes to
Templar
mind.
Assassin.
They're just gonna double down on the damage. TA Arc Warden. This is somewhat greedy, I guess. I mean, TA has an early power spike. Arc Warden ramps up in farm much later on in the game. They don't have any auras to buff them up, though, so it's
10
Dusk and
seconds to
Enchantress who
pick.
have to build utility items to help these heroes out. Force Staffs,
5
Lotus
seconds.
Orbs,
Hurry.
are the ones that come to mind at least straight off the bat.
Is this like a cool offlane Arc Warden or something along those lines? Because if you go for a like carry or mid Arc
How does that
Warden,
work?
I don't know, but
Or
the thing
maybe
is,
it doesn't.
yeah, the thing is, if Arc Warden and TA, these heroes have completely different timings, right? It's not even close as where they get online. TA wants to be strong at like 20-25 minutes, secure the second roach, win the game. Arc Warden wants to go super late. They don't really buff each other up too much.
Dire's
One deals exclusively physical damage, the other one almost all magical damage. I'm kind of surprised with Willow Lilgun's draft. I can't find a lot of sense within it currently.
4-2-3 did play the Enchantress carry.
10
Remember
seconds
that?
to pick.
Yep.
Radiant's ban.
See if-
Support Arc Warden then.
Uh, yeah, I don't know. Support TA.
And,
Support TA doesn't give anything.
Um. Yeah,
You
most
can
definitely.
slow them with traps. Hooray! It's like, yeah, that's a great approach to your draft.
Only 10 seconds.
They don't
you're
have
giving
stuns.
vision.
They don't have stuns. They have Snowball and
5
Walrus
seconds
Punch.
remain.
One hero, that's all. They really need a frontliner. AoE stun. I'm thinking, like, Magnus would make sense if they had a melee core, but they have both range, so they can't even get much out of the Empower. Just a bit of a damage spike for the TA. But, if not Magnus, Centaur, again, the hero we think about very often.
Dire's ban.
Venomancer is okay, but he still doesn't give a stun.
That's where the Witch Doctor comes into play. All of the other than the Veno, of course, but those fat heroes, the fat frontliners, the ones that just need to stand in the lane against the Witch Doctor, it's not going to be possible. As soon as he's level 3, the Maledict is a little bit too tough
Only
to deal
10
with,
seconds.
especially if they pick up an aggressive hero right now. Something like a Monkey King
5
seems
seconds.
like a
Hurry,
good
hurry.
approach for Army Geniuses here.
Looking at the heroes band, 11's entire hero pool is being targeted here. It just leaves Legion Commander. It leaves the Doom. Yeah, everything else is pretty much banned. Enigma, Batrider, the Primal Beast, the Visage, the Broodmother. There is an OD, but OD also kind of sucks because he still doesn't give that stun that they need. Tidehunter?
Dire team pick.
That's the worst one
Oh,
against
Okay,
the Witch
against
Doctor,
Slark, it just
especially
gets even
Slark.
worse. Ugh.
I think probably the Doom would be the best out of the three, but it's not really a lockdown. I guess at some point you do get the War Stomp. It's
He could win the
10
win the lane
seconds
against
to
Slark,
pick.
but then again, you talk a lot about this Witch Doctor. I concur. This Witch Doctor also
5
makes Doom's
seconds.
life hard.
Hurry, hurry.
and Slark's life easy because people have to run away from you, and that's what the Slark wants. He doesn't want people turning around on him and trading hits. He wants to get a few of those free ones.
They also have answers to the refraction on this TA with Pango, Tiny. Both of them just burst through.
Mars is the best, I think. That's That's probably the best one.
Yeah.
Choose your
They don't care. They just don't care on the side of Lilgun. They're going to go for 11 Spirit Breaker, carry Arc Warden, mid TA, up against an offlane Night Stalker actually coming out. Yeah, because of the Slark. Yeah, never mind. I was hoping for a carry Night Stalker this game, but it is going to be in your dream with the Slark.
You think it's gonna be a mid TA? Because Trill has been playing the safe lane ever since he.
Oh yeah, true. They have
played
actually
one.
they have swapped around. That is actually true. I mean, looking at the lane matchup, you're up against. Well, I mean, Pango versus TA does make sense, but Pango versus Arc.
Arc doesn't deal well against any tanky melee hero. I mean, he cannot push them out of the lane. Pango does have the mobility to escape the spark rates. If it would be a safe lane Arc Warden, him and the Tusk, I don't really think they bully the Night Stalker enough. So I think it doesn't really matter where the Arc Warden goes. Probably want to put him in the mid lane just for extra levels. Because if I'm Lilgun, I need to make this Arc Warden work. I need to get an early Boots of Travel and just be always there for the fight. He needs to find ways to be useful to his team earlier on. Because you have a Spirit Breaker, you have an Enchantress Tusk, so you're constantly going to be fighting. The TA is going to be farming, obviously, because that's the timing you want to hit. So it comes down to the spark rates to actually deal damage to finish people off.
Alright. You're going to go with Lilgun on this draft? Do you have any faith in it?
No. I'm sorry, I don't.
Not a believer.
I'm definitely not a believer in this one. I think so many things need to go right for them, and it's just not that easy. And if Army Geniuses by any means extend the game like past the second Roche, it's just immediately over in my eyes. The TA falls off, the 3 heroes fall off, then you're left with only the Arc Warden and Slark, Pango, Night Stalker. Arc Warden is not a hero.
Just need to get there, right? It's like late game.
If
Arc Warden can be super strong.
Might not even need to. That's this lineup can very easily fall flat from Lilgun and not get even that early game.
Well, Army Genius is playing a more stable, much more basic lineup. A lot easier to execute this hero too. Slark looking for the ward here. He's getting information about the cliff ward. I mean, honestly, at this point, I guess they could just deny it. I think they're just still gonna leave it there.
It's not easy for the Tiny or the Night Stalker to get that one down. It has to be the Witch Doctor that comes over, and well, his life can easily be taken.
They are going with 4 heroes to the top rune, so they are gonna want to get that rune and the ward. It's a 4v4. Ace in the front. Avalanche on 3. Beautiful start. Best of Coconut flying about. Say already very low on HP. Needs one more hit. The body blocks from Ace and a shard block coming out too. They will look for another attempt on him. Void's low. Wait. Can't quite get in between. And now Varys will get the D ward on the ward. D ward on the ward. Just get the D ward. English.
Lucky cast there for Lilgun. It bounced off onto the Arc Warden to the side, and if it had returned to the Enchantress, it would have been a kill 100%. He wouldn't even survive the damage, but at that point he wouldn't move for quite some time and would just be in trouble immediately going down.
Yeah, unlucky with the RNG there. Yoi's moving around his melee creeps here, basically.
He wants to be on the high ground.
Yeah, he wants to be safe. They're trading off challenges here, but only one of them is accepted. Could have been a double challenge, but it's only going to be one. Who's going to win the duel?
Between Yoi and 423?
Yep. Who dies first?
I mean, I'd go for Yoi. Melee heroes with solid amounts of armor are always a good matchup against the Arc Warden. Arc Warden loves playing against squishy range heroes because they have to run away. They cannot trade with him, but Yoi can just stand his ground even with the flux.
Right. That was a bit of a trick question, or actually 2 questions there, because first I asked who's going to win the duel, and I said who's going to die first, and you say Yoi. And then it sounded like you were defending that he's actually going to live, but don't worry, I got you there. Side lanes Looking pretty solid here for the time being. Pound's already being used onto 11. Early poke with that Malediction. We talked about the chasing potential on the Witch Doctor and how that helps out the Slark.
I mean, Enchantress is okay against the Slark once you get more points in impetus, but the Spirit Breaker isn't the type of hero that applies pressure at all. And that makes it so easy for In Your Dream to play this lane. And In Your Dream, he has been the standout performer for Army Genius. So it would be very weird to me if he doesn't absolutely crush this lane in the entire game as well.
Tiny again holding onto that invisible lightsaber. More and more Tiny players seem to have this set up for themselves. I'd love to see that awesome tree. I really like that Astral Origins set.
Yep, it does look really nice. I mean, yeah, it's a new set, so some bugs are gonna be there. Probably gonna get fixed up in a short amount of time. At least we hope, so that we can at least see him holding the tree in the early stages of the game.
There's some cool stuff that could happen, you know. The good old bold Death Prophets, the bold Linas, bold Enchantresses, you know. TI Curse.
Yo is actually being pushed out of the lane a bit there. 4-2-3, being super aggressive. And Yowie, though, he'll get the Bounty Rune, Power Rune will be, Water Rune will be back out soon. And he is doing really well in terms of CS. Kind of to be expected. Dark Warden doesn't have the best animation. His damage is okay, but obviously he's not going to be able to contest with the Pango with the Quelling Blade.
Yeah, he almost also killed the Arc Warden in the mid lane. That's going to count up for it. Varus going to get hit by the impetus and the charge. That's going to get... Go! Surprising amount of damage coming out of that level 2 bash.
Speed aura. The speed aura changes things because they had the Kobold Forerunner. So
yep.
The greater bash actually more damage if you're more speedy.
Okay. Caught me off guard. I was looking at that Kobold there. Then, all right. Could work with this Spirit Breaker here in the lane, and it definitely did. First blood for Lilgun.
Yep, they found Varish. I didn't expect this, though. Se has been doing a good job. The way that you play a Spirit Breaker lane is that you're trying to just fight the opponent's support on the side, and then every single time that he gets somewhat low, you charge him, and you know that you're going to be getting there faster than the enemy core. So very nicely done from them, being able to force that one out.
Still, the CS is going in favor for Army Geniuses for the time being, but TA is going to get better at it. And I think the Spirit Breaker is just going to hold his ground for now. He's not really the farming type hero, so he needs to get himself a good laning stage, and right now it has been looking like it. 4-2-3, already feeling threatened here in this mid lane with CML's Tiny rotating right behind him.
Yeah, and during the nighttime, they can't really pressure the nice.
Actually get to him. There's the instant TP coming in from the Tusk. They want to help this Arc Warden. Early damage coming out. They've got the tag team. Yowie does end up taking a few hits here, but the Witch Doctor not going to be as lucky here. Varys does go down, and the Slark hiding in the trees. Finding himself a nice little corner to hide it.
Se is really changing this lane with the creeps. I mean, first it was the Kobold Forerunner. Now the Warpine Raider is what actually changes the battle there. The damage from the siege shot is actually quite high, and the Witch Doctor can't survive it twice in a row. Varish is gonna be going down in a lane that started off really good for him in the Slark, but now it's not looking so amazing.
They're going to 11. And CML's coming in from the back as well. He's got his full combo ready. All they just needed was one avalanche, and In Your Dream's gonna finish the rest of the job. He would have died to the Maledict tick, but he would prefer to take it on the Slark in between if he's able to. In Your Dream loves to get these last hits on heroes. We talked about these kill-stealing heroes and the ones who, those players who just want to sneak in for that one ability to squeeze in kills. I think that was it yesterday when we talked about in a 8 different occasion. But yeah, In Your Dream definitely strikes as one.
Yeah, so with the Slark, it's not easy to do. You need to last hit, so it's actually a fair one. You know, if that's how you get your kill, you are you're a real Chad. You know how to play this game, and it's not like with a Rubik or a Zeus that just zap and people die.
Say being super annoying there with the Warpine Raider. Slark missing on the Flag Bearer creep, and he misses out on like half the creep wave. That was, well, actually, that was like 2 creep wave under the tower, and he only got like 2 last hits out of it. And the Warpine Raiders start to push him away from the lane.
Yowi's taking a beating in the mid lane here. As soon as the Arc Warden got level 6, he started being aggressive with the Tempest double. But still, it is a Pango with 13-1 charges. It's not like his life is going to be in any kind of trouble. And next time, if the Tiny rotates, this Arc Warden is most likely going to die. Now Yowi has the Rolling Thunder, so those early fights going to be very, very tough to make happen for the side of Lilgun.
First 3 kills here in 7.5 minutes. Looking at net worth, not a huge difference between the heroes. Slark is last at the moment. Spirit Breaker is surprisingly high, so 11. He's happy with how these early minutes have gone. Even though he has died once, he still found a kill with him, with the Cobalt buffing up that movement speed we saw earlier. Yowi takes a massive amount of damage, double spark rates, and then the Hellbear Smasher has to use a Rolling Thunder to find an escape because his other escape route was blocked, and he's going to go diving in for some early damage. Varus was also moving in with the Arcane Rune. Another Spark Wave connecting onto CML, but the Hellbear can't get close enough.
Okay, forcing out the Pango. That's what you want to do over and over again. You have these supports that can rotate to the mid lane, so it is not hard to do. I'm liking what the Lilgun are doing, how they're playing. This is what their heroes are intended to do, and they're making it happen. If they just allow Yowi to do whatever he wants, they're gonna be dying.
I'm finding the Enchantress skill here. Nice. Yowi trying to squeeze in that right click, but now we see the Maledict finally deal a massive amount of damage here. We've got Night Stalker buffing Dark Ascension to disengage from Ace and Trill. Does go for the Void, gets a couple hits in with his armlet toggles. And really being a nuisance here. Trill does get the slow out. The trap is ticking.
It's fine.
He did not want to armlet toggle while that was on. He didn't want any mishaps to happen.
First time he did armlet toggle, it goes through the trap.
Say's gonna find him. Oh, but 11 actually turns around. They still gonna go for it. And there's the force TP.
That was too deep. That was too deep, but they get out. They're still gonna be happy with that.
Couldn't find him here in the trees early on, and when they finally did, the reaction came a bit late.
It happens. It happens. They did have a ward, but still didn't see it properly.
Love what 11 is doing here. Goes for the charge, gets another bash from Slark. He starts loading up his ulti, cancels it. Hence the nightmare noises.
Okay, Slark there getting very close to death for a second. If the Nether Strike connects and you go with the follow-up charge, it's like Slark might actually die from the damage there.
Enchantress almost forces out the Rolling Thunder, but he sees Tusk rotating in. Snowball onto CML, and now Yowi will go in. Tusk is hiding in a corner. He's not actually moving anywhere right now. He's standing his ground. Nice shard block. 11 charging in. Takes one on the way. 4-2-3 with a kill. And that's going to be the Witch Doctor down to Slark. Looking for Ace. Will get it. Nether Strike onto the Pango. Pango. He's got a swashbuckle ready. He's going to use it to get to safety. Say will lose his life to In Your Dream. Finding a double. Poking the Arc Warden. And the chase is still going. 11 will find Yowi.
Okay, in the end, the fight is actually favorable for Lilgun. They only lose the supports. That was a very cool rotation from In Your Dream. I didn't expect him to get into that fight, but he understood that his teammates need him. Considering the DB didn't have his ulti, he's not in a position to fight. You have to bring in the Slark there, or it's just a slaughterhouse.
Can they kill this Night Stalker? Yeah, they can. He's trying to TPing out. Trill's just got way too much damage, and 3 points in tag team. Actually like to see this build change from Tusk, diverting from the usual maxing out, or at least getting 2 points, which is usually the core build for the Tusk, where you have 2 or 3 points in shard and 2 or 3 a snowball with Walrus Punch. Going for 3 points in tag team, knowing that if you can just tag up with the TA, you can pretty much kill anything. And that's exactly the case as they kill the Night Stalker. 1800 HP, no problem. 11 diving under the tower. Pounce comes out onto the Spirit Breaker. Not a lot to escape to. He does have a lot of stick charges, though, so it actually mitigates this Maledict damage.
Yep, not gonna be enough. You need to have a lower HP, though. It is still only level 2 Maledict. Varish went more with the paralyzing cast there. He got really annoyed by the creeps from the Enchantress in the lane, so he wanted that one. Plus, there's a lot of units, and the Witch Doctor does a lot of damage with the paralyzing cast if it connects. Once the last one connects.
So currently, Lilgun have actually come out of the laning stage with flying colors. This was what we were a bit worried about, is are they going to get run over too early in the game and not be able to. But the Spirit Breaker having success in the off lane. The Night Stalker not enjoying too much in the top lane, not able to slow down. Oh, they're going to find Sei here. The Arc Warden is off to a good start to his game. He's 1-0-2. He has actually found a kill for himself in that previous engagement in the mid area. And still farming happily with his Midas. Has the Tempest double to double his farm output. And then you have this TA who's sliding nicely into her timings, topping net worth. This is really good for Lilgun. And honestly, it couldn't have gone better, when you put it that way.
Yeah, it's kind of the same as with the last game. This time, though, I think their greed might be too high, and it doesn't go too well with each other. Because last time they had an SF.
Well, this decides a lot.
And they lone druid.
This smoke gank decides a lot here. They're going straight for the TA. Tusk will intervene, and that will be CML just getting sniped right away. Yowie inside the shards, gets a few connections. Troll with the right clicks, still slowing down the Nether Strike on the Pango as well. Pango in big trouble. Here comes DP though. They take down Ace, and Pango out of there will survive, even though the right click flies in. Varish goes down to 4-2-3. 11 still on the hunt here. He will not be able to catch the Pango. That was a good intervention from DB with the silence and the mischance applied. There was, I think, one missed right click on the Pango. It just gave him enough to get himself away from there.
Yeah, I don't think he even missed. I think he got towards the low ground. The hit followed him, and he bottled up just enough. Though I thought he was just gonna go towards the low ground with the swashbuckle, but he was like, I'm gonna survive this easy. Almost goes down. But I really like the Spirit Breaker and how 11 is making the Pango's life harder, because Spirit Breaker's charge is stronger than the Pango ult, and you're always gonna be bashing him.
Yeah, that was pretty big, dodging the Pango ulti. Not getting too much out of it, even though he was inside the Tusk shards, getting a few connections onto Ace. He was not preventing the Trill TA from right-clicking, and with a couple jukes, a couple moves here and there, the tag team was doing a lot of damage. Onto DB they go, trap popped. There we go with the snowball, Trill with the melt strike, and a couple hits with the tag team. That is so easy to burst down that Night Stalker. Stark already used his ulti as well in the bottom lane. Charge with the Spark Raids, and it's going to connect the takedown in your dream. 4-2-3 on a roll. Going to find another double kill for him. Ace asking, are you okay?
Yeah, he definitely is not. He almost killed the Spirit Breaker there while the fight was happening on the top lane. He was chasing down the Spirit Breaker, but he missed the pounce, and he couldn't finish off the kill. And then he just got baited in. Arc Warden actually finding a lot of impact in this early game on 4-2-3. You can see that he's playing in a completely different way than what we're used to.
He's playing an aggressive Arc Warden with the rest of his team, and it's paying off. They get the charge despite the Rolling Thunder popped by the Pango, and it looks the Spirit Breaker, smart use of his ulti, gets himself into a safe distance. There's a raindrop charge being popped as Yowie will find a connection onto the Arc Warden. Varys is coming in as well with the casket, and they are locking them down, taking down Yowie, taking down Varys, but they did get 4-2-3, and in your dream, this Trill with a double kill. They're locking down the Slark. Slark with 5 seconds for another pounce, using Defusal, but the snowball is on its way. Ulti in 3 seconds. Can he still get out? 2 seconds remaining. 1 second. No! Denied. 4 for 1. Arc dies, but it's almost everyone dying on the side of Army Geniuses, and the tower to fall with this Deso on TA.
Oh, you picked 3 heroes that countered the Arc Warden. Well, no problem. The Arc Warden isn't waiting for the enemies to go into his face. He's going into their face. He's the one that is there. And then you just have this turnaround potential for Lilgun. And they're playing this lineup in a completely different way. Okay, they're going to stop it. This is the Lilgun that we love, that come up with a weird pick, but they still make it happen with a different type of gameplay.
That is true. This is so good for Lilgun. And it's Army Genius is kind of mixing up the deck here because Lilgun, they're at a must-win situation. And currently, they have a win condition.
I mean, this is perfect for them. The TA is going to be hitting the timing perfectly. The only thing that you kind of have to think about is this mid lane tower, but it's already lower than half HP. Once it goes down, it opens up the Roche potential for you. And if you're Lilgun, you take Roche in just a couple of seconds. The Arc Warden will have the Gleipnir. This is going to be very, very good timing for Lilgun. And Arc Warden will actually hit the Gleipnir timing and just go with the TA. It's not going to be a split pushing Arc Warden. He wants to fight.
Yeah, he's been very aggressive on this hero, joining in with his team every time there's a chance to fight with the Spirit Breaker, with the Tusk. Arc Warden has been there. He's not waiting for Army Geniuses to come at him. He's going straight to them. Charge is onto the Pango. Early poke coming in from the Arc Warden, tracking the Pango's movements here. Varus on the side, and look at that massive charge on 2 with another strike, and he's gone. Yowie down. ABDB does pop the Dark Ascension. They're rolling in with a snowball onto the Tusk. CML is down. Varus is about to drop as well. 11 will give his life away, but for the greater good, Trill will be unstoppable with his 6th kill this game. Slark takes away the DD rune. He's going to wait for his buddies to respawn, and an optimistic Roshan. It's 20 seconds. They got to do it faster than that, and they definitely will. Look at this damage. Deso, tag team, bubble. Oh my god.
I was like, okay, maybe they need the mid lane tower, but if you kill 4 heroes, you don't need anything. You can just easily just waltz towards the Roche pit, and they get it there. So Trill will have the Aegis. This is the kind of lead that you might actually force your opponents to GG out even during the first Aegis, which doesn't happen too often.
They're going to fight it, though. They want to pull up that Aegis as soon as they can. The snowball save coming out. TA will live a bit longer, but inside the silence from DB. Aegis is lost, and now they're in trouble. Lilgun trying to turn the occasion into their favor, but the TA not going anywhere. Trill can't fight against so many heroes. Aegis gone. 2 heroes down. DB finding the streak. And 11 hiding in that Shadow Blade as he was almost connected there by DB and by In Your Dream using the Diffusal Blade. And suddenly, Army Genius is just understanding the fact that after the opponent has taken Aegis, there's a moment of vulnerability.
That was a good snowball save, but in the end, the Tusk made a slight mistake there. He recast the snowball again, so didn't wait for the 3 seconds, and TA couldn't blink out.
CML, though. It's a kill for 11 charging in. It could have been for 4-2-3 as he got the double flux. Target at DB. Snowball is there. Can't get the nether strike. 11 has been spending his time roaring at a lot of people, and onto Varish he goes, just walks in. Charge. Another bash potentially. No, not needed.
Not needed. He saves it for another day. For the one that when he's actually gonna be needing to get the kill. Still, that Aegis being taken down, it takes away of that confidence that Lilgun would have had with it if they were on the aggressive. So Army Geniuses are gonna be quite happy with that, considering how badly the game was going. With that Aegis going down, and now there being at least 6 minutes before the TA can get another one, you put Lilgun in a position where they are somewhat vulnerable. These heroes are still targets, both the Arc Warden and the TA, and if you find the right jumps on them, the damage output once they die is just not high enough.
There's a haste up on the Pango, and they will smoke up with the rest. Most likely, Yowie will show himself in mid, but right now, just trying to take control of this back bottom area. They've seen Enchantress. They don't want the Enchantress. They want something bigger. It's the TA. We've got Dark Ascension. The roll in with the jump in even. They've got the Tusk. Toss. Man, I'm really losing my words here. The Toss and the Avalanche. Connecting Trill down. Big kill.
One big thing in this game about the Tusk saves is that you're up against the Night Stalker. So later on in the game, it's gonna be very tough for the Tusk unless he gets a BKB, and this is a support Tusk, so probably not gonna be happening for him to save his buddies. And that is where Army Geniuses need what they need to gun for. If they're the ones that initiate first, it's actually gonna be quite good. So just fight during the nighttime. I'm really surprised that the Spirit Breaker still didn't go for the night vision talent. His team needs it to be somewhat competitive in terms of vision during nighttime.
And that is such a nice thing when you think about the Night Stalker. He can just play his regular game, and it's just countering the Tusk.
Yep.
He doesn't need to do anything fancy or special. He just needs to have his W on when they're focusing down the target. On to Pango they go. Ace with the quick jump here. There's a lot of heals from that fully loaded wand. But the Swashbuckle comes out so late. Double Gleipnirs. Nowhere to go.
The mobility of the Pango is non-existent in this game. It seems like you are up against double Gleipnir, and you're up against the Spirit Breaker, who's constantly stopping you in the Rolling Thunder. Just so many key targets for Army Geniuses. I think that's the case. They can't really get to an idea who needs to die first. They're not sure.
You need something like a Lotus on this guy. He's actually going for Lincolns on the Pango, but CML's going to be jumping in onto the Tusk. Say, will be there for the Force Staff. Actually gets enough healing out so the Tusk will live. And snowballing onto the back line. They've spotted In Your Dream. Spirit Breaker charging the back line for DB. He wants this kill of the Night Stalker. He will get it. Now, Slark is isolated on the other side. Witch Doctor with the switcheroo is going to take down Say. CML is down to Trill. There's so many fights going on at the same time, and they're not converging on top of each other. Trill to hunt down the Witch Doctor. Yoey, he's got his Rolling Thunder. Wants to keep his Witch Doctor alive, but he's already down. Trill will find the snipe. And he has a Blink ready, too. No, they're not going to go anymore.
Oh man, In Your Dream there, he almost died. He went super deep onto the Arc Warden. Like, I found him, but the Arc Warden just stands his ground. With the double Gleipnir, the damage output is very high, and Slark, without the Aghanim Scepter, he cannot go for that in and out, what you would initially want with the hero. So now he's working towards it. That's gonna be a big item change, but it's gonna come out at a point where the second Roche is coming out, and that's the biggest timing that you can have with the TA lineup. So very dangerous situation for Army Geniuses. Their biggest timing with the Aghanims might be completely countered.
And this is TA fully online right now. 23 minutes, BKB, Deso, Dragonlance, Blink Dagger. Trill is basically, you could say, well, not at the strongest, but currently the strongest TA in the game, or at any phase of the game where the TA is going to be strong. It's right now.
Yep. The only thing that comes close is level 25 with the 7 refraction instances. Other than that, this is it, right? When in the next 2-3 minutes, you get a couple of fights.
This is where you decide the game.
Yeah, you want to end it.
You can still scale with the Arc Warden, but now is your strongest time to have an effect. Trill, with the help of Tusk. Tusk doesn't need a Desolator with the Walrus Punch because TA is your big damage battery. Pango gonna get caught first. Gleipnir second. Gleipnir charge stun. Nowhere to go. Pango needs a save so bad this game. He's almost finished his Lincolns, but he does not have a Lotus. He doesn't have a BKB. Tusk get caught by In Your Dream. The bubble to save to buy some time. Spirit Breaker charging in between. Goes for the backline. Looks for the tiny. DB being focused. Trill. Look at the damage that's coming out. And 11 just needs one good bash. One good bash. All he needs. The tower goes down. And Armlet toggling in the tree line. Even a toss saves.
Why doesn't the Pango get a shard? That really is something that saves his life. You just purge everything off and swashbuckle away.
I guess he will if the second Roche falls. If he doesn't get the chance to get it from Roshan, he'll probably buy it. But I agree, like, you need some save on this hero. You really need some kind of dispel.
I mean, yeah, the second Roche Slark could get that one, the Night Stalker as well. You're dying way too many times now. It's 25 minutes into the game. That's 10 minutes of you dying without getting out just because you don't want to invest 1,400 gold. This ultimate orb, even the Lincolns itself, doesn't really give that much.
Arc Illusion causing a bit of a headache here for the Witch Doctor, but with the switcheroo, he's always got a way out. There was a charge coming out from this Spirit Breaker. A lot of movement speed too.
He's
got
gonna
the
have
night
the
vision
Aghanim
talent.
Scepter. Look at it. The Spirit Breaker is gonna have the Axe, and in like 4 or 5 minutes, it's even earlier if the fights go well for them, and that changes things so much. The Panga ult is just gonna be completely useless. Every time you see it, you just charge towards him.
Again, attempting to go on a jump. Roshan 115. That's 1 minute of mercy for Army Geniuses. Then they have to go. That will allow their Dark Ascension to come back off cooldown. Slark with the Aghanims. Tango not gonna get that Linken's ready unless he finds every single last hit what's available right now.
Slark got the shard. He needs that one. You need the double ulti to fight. The damage output from your enemies is too high, so you need to be able to hide yourself. And they're going. This is a good time, the real time for Army Geniuses to go for a fight.
Say already pops a smoke off of CML. Wards are being placed down, getting themselves some control inside of the pit. DB smokes popped as well. Dark Ascension and Chances in the pit. They're going to turn around. They got the jump at the same time on the edge, but the fight's breaking loose on the, next to the cliff ward. And Night Stalker being isolated on the cliff right now. CML being slowed up by the trap. Spirit Breaker in trouble. 11. Can he find a charge? He will get the 4-man stun. Is it enough? Is it enough? They've got the armlet toggles from the Night Stalker. Pango dropping very low on HP in your dream. Finding the TA. Gets the disarm at will with the lucky shot. And now with his ulti running out, he will pounce away back to safety, and here comes 423, the real deal. Trill to take down 4 from the team. It's a triple for the TA, and 1 squeezed in between for 423. And hey, Roshan, he's just up a timely respawn here. It was a 115, but the fight breaking loose, it lasts long enough for them to actually take it, and that is going to be the shard on Aegis.
And the only reason that Lilgun lost even these 2 heroes is that the Maledict connected onto the Spirit Breaker before the BKB. If he got the BKB off before the Maledict got used, they don't lose a single hero, and then it's a real disaster. But even with this kind of a fight, it's still good enough for Lilgun to feel comfortable for the next 5 minutes, because this is the time where you end the game. Second Aegis for the TA at the perfect timing. You have the Axe shard right now. That's gonna make Slark's game a little bit tougher as well. He's usually just removing the trap slow after they have been popped, but imagine how much that silence will be creating problems for him. Okay, at least he finds a good item. The Elven Tunic is something that changes things slightly.
He does. They get the chance of this, to jump on 11 Spirit Breaker. And talking about 11 Spirit Breaker in that last team fight, he was just about to die, and he got himself a 4-man charge stun.
Yep.
Which was so good to connect on.
And he knew he was dead. He didn't even want to charge away because he had a Maledict on him, 20% HP. Maledict does damage through BKB if it has been used beforehand. So he knew he was gone, and he still made impact for his team.
Ghost Scepter on the Tusk prevents this Slark from getting any damage out. Still slowing him down. CML with the Avalanche Dog is gonna miss, and TA nicely blink dodging the Dark Pack damage. Won't get caught. Lilgun 16,000 gold ahead. Their chances of staying in the tournament for the playoff run is still possible. It is still possible. Arc Warden, level 19, 6 levels to go. And look at his Octarine core gun as well. I really like this build he's gone for here. With all the impact that 423 has had this game, knowing that once you get to level 25, even though it was nerfed by 10%, but it's still 40% Tempest double cooldown reduction. Octarine core and Arc Warden. Yikes! I don't wanna step between that guy and his illusion.
One thing though, about the illusion, if he's sending it around the map, it is gonna give stacks to the Slark. You do get stacks onto the Arc Warden illusion, so that is
But
that
he's
is
got an
one thing.
Octarine core. he can feed even more illusions for stacks.
Yep.
Slark shows in mid. Oh, he's used Dark Pack. There's the charge in. Oh, he's so dead. He is so dead. Deader than dead can be.
The jump was very fast. You need to, as your Dark Pact is expiring, to just jump away. You
They're
cannot
using
allow that to happen.
They're using his voice line against them. That's a real big deal. The mental warfare, it's totally on. Lilgun feeling that this is their opportunity. This is their chance. The final chance as well, and the final game of the group stages for them. Already winning game 1. Close to game 2, being a 2-0 for them. Just need to hold on to it. We've seen a couple teams not being able to hold on to their leads and give the game away.
So Yowie Lincoln's is coming into play a bit. At least the Spirit Breaker cannot charge you around the map. I guess that was the idea, to have some split push potential on the Pango. But it cost him his life so many times because we can see the Spirit Breaker. He really wants to charge him.
So many items on this TA. Daedalus on the works with that Crystallis already picked up. Just needs the Demon Edge. There's the recipe brought by the courier. Couple hundred more in this TA. Basically in her prime. Close to 25 as well. 433, still 5 levels.
The damage output of the TA is just way too high now, especially when you have the Tusk. He didn't go for the 25 tag team damage talent, but it doesn't matter. The enemy hero's still dying, just a couple of hits.
Yeah, I think when you think about plus 25 damage or another half a second of stun duration, I think the stun duration is going to give the TA more damage. In Your Dream pouncing in to help his buddy out. CML with the toss. Ace is going to pop the Ghost Scepter as he did last time. Tiny though. He's already done his job. Yowie trying to come in from the back line here. They've got DB here too. Silence on top of the TA. TA already finishing out so many heroes, and just look at that. Oh, the Melt Strike. Is it going to be enough? No, but the charge from the Spirit Breaker so close, and he's got it. Trill gets the connection. Was that a second Side Blades kill? I feel like that was just another right-click landing in from Trill, but still. Side Blades ending up killing one of the heroes in the end there, but that just shows how much damage this TA does. 4-1.
Yeah, he killed the Slark. He killed the Slark with the Side Blade. Slark got way too low. This goes to show how conservative with the Dark Pact In Your Dream has to be. He's feeling like he has to use it at a perfect time if he wants to survive, and it just ends up costing him his life.
Yeah, there's finally the shard up on the Pango. But I think it's a bit too late now. Well, he's used his roll up. The Gleipnir almost ends up being his downfall there. And 4-2-3 for the push with Trill. They forced out the Glyph.
This is Lilgun that we know
11.
and love.
It's a lot of damage. CML with the toss, though, is going to take him next to the fountain. Tier 4 towers pummeling, but the Illusion is starting to tank the hit, so the Spirit Breaker gets away. Looking to get
they didn't pull him into the fountain, unfortunately.
Would have needed that to happen. Disarming the traps, the Wildwing Ripper, giving that extra armor. Also going to be history. Right outside Lilgun, not too far away.
Slark needs that big KB. He really needs it. He's just dying. But the charge, the Walrus Punch, you know, those things they still kill him. But it feels like he's afraid of the AoE magic damage of the Arc Warden the most.
Slark at 15 stacks now. He can continue to get some small skirmishes. Might just work out for them. He is farming. He's pushing out the top lane while the rest of his team is smoked up. They see Sei. Arc Illusion also on the move. Jumping the wave. Heading towards the bottom tier 2 tower. Trill takes it. Slark getting more stacks off of the Illusion, and now they're going to jump on Trill. Snowball save comes out. Spirit Breaker in the middle of the fight. The BKB's being popped as well. The Night Stalker just going to be melting in the middle. He just doesn't stand his ground at all. And Slark trying to get as much damage out as possible. 24 stacks up right now. He's got no abilities remaining. Sei going to be taking a lot of damage with the Witch Doctor ulti, but Trill going to be turning it around with the Impetus Spirits coming in with the Snowball as well. They're going to lock him down. In Your Dream's going to go, and he's history. Army Geniuses, they're dropping the ball here. They just can't fight back. They can't fight back. They're trying their everything, but it's not enough. Lilgun, at the face of defeats, finding another massive team fight win for themselves and looking at a 2-0.
It's not even close. It's not even close in these team fights. It's not like, okay, they're barely killing the Slark with their spells. No, they're actually allowing him to do whatever he wants. 30 stacks, no problem. They still take him down with just a couple of hits. It's impossible for this Slark to just latch onto a target and finish people off. And it's a problem. It really is a problem when none of the enemy heroes are gonna die easily.
So, it's basically just a slow losing battle for Army Geniuses now. They're down by a melee Rax in the mid lane. At least it's the easiest lane to defend, but Swift Blink now up on the TA. Slark still building that BKB. Tiny going for a Ghost Scepter, recognizing the physical damage output is way too much to deal with. Witch Doctor at least has to switch a route to live. Pango looking for the Basher. And Night Stalker doesn't have anything queued up right now. 7-second BKB.
He even has an armlet and he's being melted by the TA. It's not like he has low armor, so you're like, okay, he needs to get a plate mail and then it's gonna be better. No, the damage output is way too high, especially now with his BKB getting low. The magical damage of the Arc Warden is gonna start kicking in.
33,000 gold lead. 0% win probability for Army Geniuses. Is there any AG believers in chat? Because if you're a 0%er and you win, I mean, I might as well eat a hat at that point.
They still feel like they can win. I think In Your Dream feels like the Slark is still super powerful. He's looking at the enemy team and being like, guys, the Slark should crush them. This should be my game. And it's just not working out. Everyone dies way too fast on their team. And I'm not sure how you change it. It has to be Army Geniuses getting the right jump with the Maledict. A hero needs to go down.
There's an opportunity just walking into the silence. But he's still gonna live. Malediction, though, the next tick is gonna kill him. Oh, there's a lot of damage from Trill. Disarm is out there just in time. They're trying to break for the refraction charges, but that's gonna be Varus down. He's coming up with the buyback. They're gonna be losing the Night Stalker in the fight, and In Your Dream, he's trying to stand his ground against 4 inside the Shroud, still building up stacks. He gets to pounce away. He's built up 15. 11 with the charge. Right away to CML, almost getting there, but they can't respond. Yowie gonna get hit by the Nether Strike. 11 with the refresher, but he doesn't have the mana right now. He's gonna cheese us in his backpack. He's going to move it into his active inventory as they take down the Pango. Overwhelming Blink coming in onto the Slark, slowing him down. 4-2-3, looking for an easy way out there with the Illusion, trying to kill off the Slark. Not quite going to happen. And now with so many heroes lost and only so few buybacks remaining.
You have nothing left to give. You have nothing left to give if you're Army Geniuses. I'm actually surprised they're not GGing out. I think now is the last fight that they're gonna have, just because the Slark got his BKB. If this doesn't work out, nothing will.
CML gonna go for the jump and attempting to blow up that Aegis. They do isolate the TA, but they're gonna hastily make their way to save Trill. CML down. Yowie did come up with the buyback here in the Pango. He has to wait in the trees. Told you to stay in the trees. Tries to snipe Trill. Trill dies to the tower. Tiny coming with the buyback. This is the last attempt. This is the last attempt. Lilgun, all they need to do is just stay alive, and they've got it. They're almost dying. They're almost taking down Army Geniuses. That's a Night Stalker. He's gone. He still has a buyback available. In Your Dream, everything that he's got is up to him. 41 stacks, but is it enough? Is it enough? Is it too much to deal with? Enchantress down. Will get themselves 2 with these 3 buybacks. DB on the chase. Trill will force him away. Another pounce is going to go into the Arc Warden Illusion. And In Your Dream, he's strong right now, but he can't get to him. Tiny dieback. Yoey's in trouble. There's the jump in on the TA. TA still getting hits out. In Your Dream versus TA. TA is too strong to fight with, and that's it. Lilgun, they keep their hopes alive in this tournament. There's the 2-0, and they sweep Army Geniuses from the top of the board.
What a disengage from Lilgun in that fight. Really, they lost 2 heroes at the start. And you're up against, look at the chase potential of the enemies. Tiny with a blink, Slark, Night Stalker, Pango. And they were just going back, setting traps, constantly silencing the enemies. And then just waiting for their opponents to get on top using the 4 staffs. In the end, it was the Slark versus the TA. And TA level 25. Slark didn't have the mana for the Dark Pact at that point. Or he already used it. He couldn't go through the refraction charges. And it just looked like he was completely helpless, staying there fighting the TA, but she's just not taking any damage. Lilgun, what a performance in this game. This is Lilgun that we want to see. This is Lilgun and how they need to play in the Division 1 of the DPC if they want to be competitive there, because they did qualify in the previous tour. And these are the kind of lineups that only them as a team understand. Army Geniuses, they thought they had this. I thought they had this. And Lilgun, they just show us that any lineup can work if you find a different way to play it.
Different way to play it. I think that sums it up really nicely. Lilgun getting to play that Arc Warden in a much more aggressive fashion early on in the game, so I think it surprised both of us in a positive way. He ended up being with 54,000 hero damage at the end of this game, even more than the TA, which it's just staggering. It's just amazing because TA felt like was the big problem in this game, knowing that this Arc Warden is going to be the late game issue for them. But he just ends up pumping up more damage, and he has a 38 KDA on this Arc Warden, which is just nuts. I mean, that is an insane performance that Lilgun pulled out in this last game. And I think one thing that you really commended there was the way that they took those fights, especially that last one with the disengages and re-engages. Those were some real top-level plays from Lilgun. I think we've been missing out on those from this team for, the last 8 series. And now we finally get to see Lilgun in their prime when it really matters.
It seems like they really found their gameplay. It would be a bummer now if they don't get to the playoffs. They have a chance. Neon Atomic are playing tomorrow. That is the one that you are putting your faith into Unity Gaming. I guess Lilgun are gonna be hoping that Unity Gaming has a really bad performance today. Then tomorrow the first game is against Fnatic, and then they're gonna have to really give it their all against Neon Atomic if they wanna. If they want to get towards the upper bracket. So you want them to do as bad as possible, so that they really have to be fighting for that standing when they're playing the last game of the group stages. But yeah, Lilgun, they end the tournament on a good note, and I'm happy for them for that.
Next up, we have a pretty entertaining series coming up. We have Fnatic versus GeekFam, both teams sitting in places 2 and 3 in the group. So a 2-0 means a confirmed upper bracket. A tie means a confirmed upper bracket. The other team still, it goes down to the other teams, how they fare. But it's definitely going to be a very, very fun series. So stay tuned for the next one. We'll take a tiny break now and be back.